What is going on, guys? So today we will be going over how I built this AI customer research assistant right here, right? That scrapes Reddit and feeds you ad angles, pain points, trends, and emotional hooks. And the problem though I see with most AI scraping agents, whether it's for Reddit, YouTube comments, like whatever it may be, right? Is that you end up drowning in the same info over and over again. Like let's say you're a skincare brand, right? Like, which is what we're going to be demoing with here. There's a point where your AI is going to just be giving you the same pain points, same desires over and over again. Like what happens is you and your team, you guys just keep seeing the repetitive information over and over again, and you guys stop caring for the tool. So what I did here is actually included a filtering layer to reference back everything we've reported in the past, so that way you only get new angles and avoid duplicates in these reports. And I'm going to be showing us how I built all of this in this video. And guys, this is the pretty much very bland front end that I built for this customer research dashboard, right? So it's a way to track trends, emotional triggers, objections, desires, and all the corresponding quotes that we found from Reddit that correspond with it. There's probably a better way to organize it, but what I'm going to be showing you in this video is how we're able to pull all this data, how we're able to filter all duplicates, and then you can design how the front end, how you're being received this information, how you really want. Because the hard part is being able to filter out all the bullshit and all the shit that you already have so that you're only getting new angles, okay? So nonetheless, this is going to be the flow of how this works. So we're going to start with a daily trigger. So what we're going to do is define a list of subreddits. Let's say that we want to scrape. So for the subreddit that we're going to be focusing on, it is going to be skincare addiction. So this is one of the posts in there that will be scraped from already, okay? But nonetheless, every day, what's going to happen is we're going to scrape the top threads from the day for this specific subreddit, all right? And then you can use that with just using the basic Reddit API. From there, what we're going to do next is have an LLM. So you use ChatGPT, Claude, whatever it may be, right? Scrape each of these Reddit threads for trends, emotional triggers, objections, pain points, desires, okay? And what you want to do is have an LLM call for each and every single one, because if you have it try to do all 5 of these at once, then you're just going to ruin the accuracy. And I'm going to put all the prompts I used for this inside the description. And just for the sake of this video, I'll go over the pain points, but I'm not going to go over every single one because that takes way too long. But yeah, this is the prompt template for extracting pain points for skincare discussions. So I'm just saying you're an expert market researcher, psychologist, blah, 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 analyzing skincare discussions to identify customer pain points. And again, the reason why we want to have a prompt for each one is that it's going to increase the accuracy. What we're doing here is like, hey, we're giving you the role, or we're giving ChatGPT the role of an expert that scrapes customer pain points for skincare. Your task is to analyze this Reddit discussion from this thread and extract only pain points. So this means current problems and frustrations users are actively experiencing, along with related quotes that support each insight. Important, focus only on pain points, current problems users are suffering from. If no clear pain points are present, return an empty insights array, okay? And then we define what pain points are. Like, notice how specific this is. And again, the main point of this video isn't really about prompting, but when you're wanting to do like data mining, you want to be very specific on like what exactly you're looking for, because pain points can mean so many different things to so many different people. We're defining it here for the LLM, okay? So pain points here are specific negative experience of unmet needs that cause ongoing frustration, blah, blah, blah. There's a pain point journey stages, the type of pain points that are involved, right? So we're just giving it a ton of specific context on what pain points mean and like what to look out for when mining for this data. And then we also include instructions that come along with this. And then also evidence and conservatism rules. And then just some phrases to give it some key points to just help it, again, help the LLM find all the pain points. Because again, we're going to be dumping a bunch of raw text into the LLM. We want to be able to help it as much as possible, because it can miss some of these pretty easily because depending on how much text we're dumping into this prompt, okay? And then, yeah, the discussion analyze, and then the output below, okay? But yeah, so we're having an LLM, a prompt for each of these to extract emotional triggers, trends, objections, pain points, desires, right? And then we're going to embed each insight extracted. And when I say each insight extracted, I mean, so what's going to happen is, let's say it scrapes through a thread, and we find that users want effective acne treatments that provide long-term control over their skin condition. And these are like the quotes from the Reddit thread that correspond with it, right? So this is what was pulled from the Reddit thread. We are going to embed this inside here. And if you don't know what embeddings are, this is what embeddings are, okay? So let's give the most basic explanation of embeddings, okay? So let's take the text, I like food, and I love to eat. All embeddings are is just converting text into a list of numbers. And it's using some like AI machine learning models to convert these texts into these lists of numbers. But what's so cool about these lists of numbers is that it actually captures the meaning of this text. So if you're used to like a standard keyword search, right? I like food, I love to eat. Obviously, they mean the same shit, right? But if you did a keyword search, they're not going to mean the same shit because it doesn't use the same exact words. But these embeddings, if you look carefully, again, these aren't the actual embeddings for these two texts, right? They're much, much longer. I'm talking like thousands of numbers long, okay? But this is just for the sake of this example. If you look closely, right? These numbers are relatively the same. Like it's 1, 2, 4, then 4.3, 7.8, 7.4. And that's what embeddings will do. Like if they're closely related in terms of meaning of the text, these list of numbers will be very similar to each other. So and what you can then do is once you get have a bunch of embeddings, you can cut through all the noise and find similar text as your input of text. And if you're wondering why we're doing this, right? Again, in an ideal world, we have a list of all these insights, a list of pain points, let's say, in our database that we've pulled from Reddit in the past. But we don't, and then now we scrape a new set, right? What if these insights are already existing inside our database? We don't want to just add duplicates. That's just going to fucking throw off our entire database with a bunch of clutter. So what we're going to do is we're going to embed each insight, get the similar insights from our vector database. So again, when I say get similar insights from our vector database, that means our stored insights that we already have, let's say right here, like all of these, we're going to embed all these. So again, turning each of these insights into its own list of numbers. So say we're working with desires. We pulled an insight on desires. From the desire section, we're going to pull the top 10 most similar desires. Top 10 most similar insights, okay? Right? We're going to pull the top 10 most similar insights. And then what we're going to do is have an LLM compare like, okay, here's this new insight we found. So singular insight. So let's pretend we scraped a new thread. We found this one singular we found 8 new insights from this thread. Let's go through it one by one. From these 8 new insights, let's start at number 1. This first insight, here's the top 10 most similar insights that's already existing in our database. We're going to have ChatGPT or Claude say, and compare them like, hey, does this insight already exist in our database? If it's a duplicate, we're just going to add the corresponding quote to the existing insight. So what I mean by that is notice how each insight has its quotes. Let's say we find let's say we scrape another thread, right? And we get this same insight. We can just add it into this quote section. That way we're not cluttering the shit and having 2 insights where it's the same shit, where it means the same thing, right? And then if it's not a duplicate, we just add a new insight to the database. And the question that comes that people would naturally ask is like, why do you even need to do these embeddings to begin with? And the reason why we have to do all this technical shit just to like dedupe and like make sure we don't have duplicates in our database is because now let's say we have 50 insights under desires, right? Let's say there's like fucking 50 of them. 50 insights under desires. Are we gonna throw every single insight into the LLM and say like, here's this insight, look at all 50 of these and see if there's any duplicates? Like that is just risking the chance of hallucinations, right? It's unfair to expect an accurate answer when you're giving one desire and let's say 50 to 100 other desires and say, hey, does this desire already exist in this database? Yes or no? Doing this just results in a high chance of a hallucination, which I'm not willing to chance, okay? And so which is why what we're doing with these embeddings and getting the top 10 most similar insights is we're condensing that list of, let's say, 100 desires into the top 10 most relevant desires for this specific insight. So now what happens is the next day would occur. So on the next day when it comes around, it runs again, right? We're scraping the top threads from the day. We're getting all these desires, pain points, objections, emotional triggers, trends, right? We embed each of these insights for each category. And again, all we're doing is getting the similar insights for the vector database. And now, like, say the ones we found yesterday, right? If those already exist in the database and we find similar shit, we're not going to add it in. And now what happens is you actually have a clean knowledge base of your customers, of all these emotional triggers and objections, and it's clean, and it just has a lot less clutter than otherwise you would be getting the same shit every single day. And again, guys, the customer research report doesn't have to come out exactly like this because the way we structured everything, right? Anything that's marked as not a duplicate, we can flag that and return that in a report like, okay, here are the new insights with the corresponding quotes that we found for this database for the day. And now you're able to get a report on what are the new ad angles, new pain points, new trends that we're seeing through this Reddit research on a daily basis, just from being able to mark as what are duplicates and what are not duplicates. And to me, this is actually the coolest part of this entire workflow, is like being able to actually maintain data quality in a database when there's just so much clutter when scraping raw Reddit text or like any raw text really, right? But you guys, that is pretty much it on how I built this AI customer research assistant. Thank you guys so much and hope you guys had a great day.